The Galby Rat Race. Taken over by e-bikers. What is up, fellow enthusiasts? We are on a little lunch ride today. Barely made it, that was poor form, really. It's a beautiful March day here in Bellingham, and I want to get out for a quick session in between working. I'm on the Crestline LS160 today. Built it up pretty recently for work, and I've had just a hell of a time getting the bleed right on these brakes. But now that I've ridden it some, finished the filming for a bike check video, which you can go check out on the Crestline YouTube channel, I think I've finally figured out how to bleed SRAM Mavens. Man, they feel pretty epic so far, and I'm just going uphill, but I can already tell I've nailed it. On this LS160, I've got the Bosch 800 watt-hour battery, which I am trying to see how far I can go on EMTB mode solely until I hit about 40% battery left, because I feel like that'll be a good time for my lunch break to be over and become productive again. Howdy. Screaming past pedestrians like an absolute goon. My bad. That's also bad form. Yeah, I've got a heart rate monitor on today, so we can see just how hard I'm working, even on an e-bike, which right now I'm at 175 beats per minute. Who would have thought you'd work hard on an e-bike? But here I am. All right, we'll see where this ride takes us. A little uphill bump jump. Man, what a blue ball day. All right, we're at Cedar Dust. Gotta hit it, of course, if you're on the north side. It's a bit windy today, so we'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, bike. All right, on the first ascent, we've made it to 1,300 vertical feet of climbing, and we've used one bar, so 20%. So I'll put up the projected elevation gain there for a full battery, and we'll keep doing it until we're done. All right, we're at the top of our first trail here. Remember, it's a lunch ride, so we're blitzing. No time for no breaks. It's SST. Oh, confidence in brakes makes such a huge difference. All right, so we'll walk through some context here. It's a lunch ride, so I'm going like pretty balls to the wall in terms of effort on my own end. I'm keeping like a constant 170 beats per minute heart rate, which means I'm really pushing the bike even in EMTB mode. So I think we're at about 25% battery, and we've done about 1,400, 1,500 vertical feet maybe. Trying to get in like 3 trails. Beautiful view of Bellingham there. It's a bit windy, which is kind of weird. Not weird. We're having a sunny day in spring, a rarity. And let's see what else. So I'm on the RH4, which is, designed to be for extra large riders. It's got a 505 mil reach, which is definitely bigger than I would run typically by about an inch. Half lap number 1. Yeah, we're at 1,500 vert. We're still in the 25% range of battery usage. So where does that put us? 1,500 times 5, 7,000. 7,500? Yeah, I unfortunately cannot see the exact battery percentage right now because Bosch has not released their new screen. So it's a bit of a guesstimation here. All right, for this second lap, we're gonna climb the all-new V-Trail reroute. Shout out Jerry Creighton. He and WMBC put hard work into this the other weekend. I was there. Didn't do a whole lot of work, but I was there. All right, at the top again. Lap number 2, we're at 1,800 vertical feet of ascending. We are breaking the 25% battery mark. We're gonna do a full pull on Oriental right now. See if I can hold on the whole time. Do some downhill training. I've got the RH4, like I said, and I've got the bike set up in 160 front and rear. So that means 100. I've got the bike set up in its short travel mode, front and rear, which means 160 millimeter air spring in the fork, and then 160 millimeters of travel offered by the shock. It is so perfectly lively on a place like Galby. See, we're gonna drag our inside foot there. That turn is so sick. Pre-hop that. But yeah, and like tighter stuff and jumping. That is definitely where I notice the big bike the most. Chain stays 455. She's got a 1,300 plus wheelbase. That's huge. It's like bigger than my Spire. Let's see, what else? You're gonna hear me breathing a lot. It's because I'm in not the best shape right now. Although I'm trying. I just decided I was gonna do some intervals at the pump track the other day. I already feel improvements in my cardio. So yeah, as far as e-bikes go, man, I would be so hesitant to run anything shorter than 160 millimeters of travel. Just because you got so much more weight, even though it's only like 25 pounds difference at most. But yeah, I think in 160 mode, this is like the perfect blend of like feeling like your actions and inputs on the bike actually translate instead of being eaten up by the travel. Really fast section here. Scrub. Thank God there's no hikers crossing right there. Such a fast section. Really thankful my mavens are bled correctly right now. This is about where you start to feel it in your forearms if you're not fit like myself. Some flat, moderately supportive turns right there. Super fun. Some of my favorite in town. Super big bottom out. Apologies for my shouting. Watch out, don't want to ruin a bike with that mud. Wow, that was so money. I don't think you could ask for better dirt. Barely a puddle, which for this time of year in Galby, on Galby, is just magnificent. All right, we're climbing up for a third lap here. And while it was on my mind, I wanted to shout out a few people who I never would have expected to meet, but have encouraged me to keep going with this. And let's see, first it was Jeff. I met Jeff in January when I first got back to Bellingham after the break. And he saw me on a climb and was like, hey, you're the Click Journal guy. And I didn't even know what to say. I was like, who the hell would recognize me Anyway, this guy, Professor at Western, recognized me. Told me that I wasn't doing a great job, but that he watches. No, I didn't say that. All right, second person. That is Garen.
Hey, it's your old pal Garen here.
You may know this guy Garen from Santa Cruz product videos. And he gave me a shout out on the old social medias and said that he's a fan. How I could make a fan of a legend in the industry, I don't know, but it's appreciated. And then the other day, just out for a little gallivant, and some other guy recognized me at the top of SST and was like, "You're the Click Journal guy." And I'm like, "What even in the heck?" So it's you know, at 600 subscribers, something about there, it is truly baffling that many people have even recognized me out in the wild. What a weird phenomenon. I want to thank you though, because it has encouraged me to keep this up and try to make even better content in the future, which I hope you stay tuned for. I've got some, you know, real stuff coming out in the near future that's not just POV crap, but I feel like POV crap is easy to make quickly and get information out there in a timely manner. But yeah, it's been a cool endeavor to take on YouTube. I've always aspired to do it from a young age, but of course, when you're young, you're dumb and you have no perspective or idea of what you're supposed to make. As an adult, it's more or less the same, but you're a little bit more mature about it, or at least I try. All right, battery vibe check here on our third ascent. We've just reached 3 of 5 bars on this 800 watt hour battery. My watch says 2,400 vertical feet. So 60% battery remaining, 2,400 vertical feet. I'll post the math there. Not bad. All right, there's a little half lap before our final lap. This is the e-bike starting line for the Stinky Deluxe dual slalom line. Oh my God, you can just get so much speed right off the gate. You know, I'm full of excuses, but if I don't look the steeziest on this track, it's because I'm riding a extra large. Oh my God, got so off yaw there. All right, third lap over lunch. These jumps are very sick, but I don't feel like the most steezy on them. But I'd be willing to bet, as far as the YouTube algorithm is concerned, I think there is some correlation between how hard you can turn your bars in the air and how many subscribers you get in a video. See that jump there? No subscribers earned. But although these jumps are tiny, we're gonna try and change that. See, like, huge bar turn there. I think that earned me like 1 subscriber, I hope. Right here, I don't really do that one super great, so. And like shrimpage, if they hear your tires breaking traction, that's like a subscriber. Pre-hop that, that's a subscriber. Oh, I think people heard that tire rippage right there. Scrub, that's like half a subscriber. Howdy. All right, if you're local to Bellingham, I'm willing to bet it's been a while since you've ridden Golden Spike, which is kind of parallel to middle SST, and it's absolutely sick. It rides like nothing else on Galby, in my opinion. See a little natural double to like freak out over some rocks. Some sick turns, honestly. Need the rock guard down there. Some tight turns. And it's like narrow single track, which you know is a dying breed here in Bellingham. And my Crestline and 160 travel is just absolutely made for a little pumpy track like this. A little sprint there, a little battery vibe check. I think we're at like 2,900 vertical feet according to my Garmin, and somewhere between 60% and 50%. Pretty good. Suck that one up. But it's gonna be dark in here. I'm gonna just give up on talking now. Golden Spike. What an epic little trail. Okay, little battery vibe check here. We've just reached 30,000 vertical feet, and we've just hit 50% battery on the dot. So that's easy math. That's kind of our final predicting factor. It wouldn't be a Galby ride if you didn't finish on Bob's trail. So that's what we're gonna do. I just wanna say thank you to everyone who watches these for whatever reason. I do it because I like doing it, or I'm doing this because, you know, I was thinking the other day, I made my first YouTube video probably about 12 years ago. Please don't share it in the comments if you find it. And honestly, just don't go looking for it. Please. Do me a solid. Keep that to yourself.